Chingford. On my mission to visit and rate every driving test centre in England, I parked up on a side street in Chingford and went in search of the test centre. It's on a main road, so you can't park in front of it. If you're coming here for your driving test, the examiners were starting tests off on Connaught Avenue, where I parked up. But you'll need to meet your examiner in the waiting room. When you go inside, it's a simple, tired old room with loads of seating, there's unspectacular toilets, and that's about it. What's Chingford like as a driving test centre?
It's a very quiet test centre and the roads are really big and open, so it's quite easy to drive.
What's your name?
Rahi.
Rahi, cheers bro. Okay, well let's see what Chingford's all about. I'm going to be ranking test centres on three things. The area, the facilities of the test centre, and how easy it is to pass here. There's Rahi. Thanks for the update. It's always good to hear from local instructors because they know the local areas, they know the roads, and they know what goes down here. The facilities are going to get a solid 5 out of 10 because it's nothing spectacular. I've definitely seen better test centre facilities. Greenford, for example, didn't even have any toilet facilities. And by facilities, I'm mainly rating the toilets because you know you need a pre-test wee. Nervous wee, right? Like that's
200 yards, turn right.
That's essential. But the seating area is nice, it's spacious, it's just tired. It's not filthy, it's not dirty, it's tired.
Turn right.
Already, I've just gone into Epping Forest. Imagine, you could take your test in somewhere like Goodmays. Not slating you if you're from Goodmays, but it's very grey. It's very dull. There's not a lot of calming influence and vibes in Goodmays, but here, look, we're literally on a driving test driving through a forest. Could you ask for any more? Entering a 20 zone. This is, okay, so the thing about Epping is it crosses over from London to outside London. London Borough to Greater London Borough. The thing about London boroughs is that they have a 20s plenty policy. Let's let this learner pass. Remember, if the hazard is on your side, you've got the least priority. So we need to let oncoming vehicles go. It's really important that on your driving test, you get the correct priority. Ah, not even a thanks from the instructor. You don't have to give thanks while you're on your driving test. Your examiner will do it for you. Let's act proactively and let this guy go first. You don't have to give a thanks, the examiner will do that for you, but it's polite, we're British, there we go. We've got a thanks from the Jaguar driver for pulling over. You should get into the practice and the habit of saying thanks to other drivers, for sure. Because once you've passed, it's part of driving. Right, 30 miles an hour, let's send it. So far, Chingford is beautiful. I can't think of anything wrong with Chingford at all, but we haven't come to the busy bit. Oh, by the way, if you're not comfortable giving a thanks like that, you can just lift 4 fingers off. Everybody in the oncoming car can see that as well, no problem. Overtaking a parked van. Don't forget to check your mirrors when you do any kind of movement left or right. This one, if you're learning with mum, dad, friends or family, that's one of the main things that people miss. Because I guess as you get older and you get more confident in your driving and you've been driving for like 10, 20 years, you get sloppy on mirror checks. You forget how important they are. So I guess if you're teaching your, kids, friends, family how to drive, that's not one of the main things that you'll instill in them, but a driving instructor definitely would. So don't forget to check your mirrors every time you move. If I'm moving the steering wheel left, check left. If I'm moving right, check right. Right now, I'm about to move left back onto my side of the road, left mirror check. No cyclists, no motorbikes. It's clear. What do we think of Chingford? So far, the area, I haven't got to the end. I'm going to give the test centre an overall rating.
At the end of the road, turn right.
That's a mouthful. An overall rating. So far, the area is looking nice. So far, we're talking probably 7 out of 10. Because for a London driving test centre, see that, thanks. For a London driving test centre, it's extremely calming.
Turn right.
Mirror signal. Position, speed and gears. I was ready to stop for that one. Traffic lights. Should you stop for an amber traffic light? Should you go through an amber traffic light? That's a commonly asked question. It's down to the situation and it's down to your speed and it's down to what's behind you. If there's a car super close behind you, you're more inclined to go through the traffic light. Ask yourself this question. If I brake now and stop for the amber light, is the car behind me going to be in danger of being caught out and going into the back of me? In which case, go through the amber light. If there's absolutely nothing behind you, then make more effort to stop for the amber light. What the amber light means is stop if it's safe to do so. If it's safe and you won't cause the car behind to do anything else dangerous, like don't emergency stop for amber lights, for sure, go through it. But if you can safely come to a stop for that amber light, like your speed is low enough, there's nothing behind you, then you can actually fail your driving test for not stopping at the amber light because you disobeyed what the amber light said. And the amber light means stop if it's safe. If it was safe and you didn't stop, 100p could fail your driving test. Dual carriageway as well, look at this. Okay, if you take your driving test in Chingford, this is pretty chill. I'm gonna check my right mirror here because we're merging. I can see that white line in the middle is disappearing, which means it's going from 2 lanes into 1 lane. And if that happens, you need to know what's on your right. If you've got L plates on your car, people are gonna try and get past you. Cool, roundabouts coming up. I can see it's a mini one. So when you're driving, you need to be looking as far ahead as possible. Make sure you can see far into the distance and be prepared for what's coming up. I know it's a mini roundabout, so now I'm clocking how to attack that. Second exit, I'm going straight on,
Take the second exit.
slowing the car down. I'm just looking to the right, no one else is crossing me, so I can just keep going without stopping. But I definitely slowed down to a safe speed where I could stop if I did see an indicator or a car come across me. How chill is Chingford? Sorry, this is supposed to be a London driving test centre. Have you been to Croydon? Chingford's so chill, this is a really nice area. Where's this? Woodford Green, okay. Is this even okay, in the comments, please. Is Chingford in London or is Chingford in Essex? I guess some people would call it Greater London. We've got TfL buses. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Chingford's probably in London, but some of you might call it Essex. If you're from here, I would love to know. Woodford Green, Chingford, where are we at? And here's one thing that I really love to get people to do.
300 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
Don't dawdle speeding up. It really annoys the cars behind, and you look way more confident if you can speed up to speed. We're not speeding, I'm up to 30 miles an hour, but just do it a little bit more quickly.
Cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
Interesting. The sat-nav calls this a roundabout, but I'm just gonna go by the road markings and I'm literally just following the road. And I'm gonna turn left next, so I'm gonna make sure I'm on the outside
Take the exit.
and signal. A little bit like a roundabout. If you're from Chingford or you teach around here and you would have done that differently, let me know. Which is why I always say don't take a driving test where you don't know the area. It's a really silly idea. I know people message me and say I'm driving in this area that I've never been to before. Have you got any tips? And my tip is always don't drive there. Don't take your driving test there unless you're going to take a little bit of practice there at least beforehand. If you're from a different area, here's a good tip actually. Ring up a driving instructor. Even if you're taking your test in your own car, just ring up
After 300 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
Got to concentrate here. Ring up a local driving instructor and just say, hey, can you give me 1 or 2 lessons around the tricky bits of this driving test area? I'm taking my test in my own car. Even better if they can give you that lesson in your own car. Right, okay.
Go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
This roundabout is massive. So the area I was giving 7 out of 10, I'm gonna drop that to 6 because the roundabouts are well difficult. This roundabout, well difficult. Let's see, is it a spiral roundabout? This is why I just don't, where are we going? Okay, it says A406 Enfield. So I'm gonna jump in the lane that says A406. This is the hack actually, to be able to negotiate roundabouts that you're not sure of. Massive ones like this, they always say the A406 on this lane. They always say, if they're painted, where that lane goes.
Take the exit.
The sat-nav says where I'm going next, the next exit. So it says A406 Southend Road. I'm following the lane for A406, otherwise I would have got that completely wrong. I wouldn't have got it completely wrong. I would have just been guessing. Which is it's fine normally, but not on your driving test. A406, quick left mirror check. And we got the right way because I followed the road markings.
After 1 mile, take the exit.
Oh, this is fun. I love driving in new areas, right? Because it's like when you drive around locally, you just kind of get it and you go on autopilot, but I'm really concentrating here because this is completely different to what I'm used to. Interesting. Chingford goes up to 50 miles an hour. Dual carriageway slip road. If you're doing your test here, you need to be good at this. I'm in the right lane. She hasn't told me yet, but I've seen that I'm turning right next. So to save me moving lanes later,
After 300 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the fourth exit.
that is good planning. 4th exit, wow, okay. Chingford's now at 5 because dual
Go
carriageways,
right on the roundabout and take the fourth exit.
slip roads, we could definitely do without that. We could definitely do without that on a driving test. There's loads of driving test centres that don't have slip roads and roundabouts. That's quite difficult. This one doesn't have it doesn't have lane markings. Well, I'm still going right on the roundabout, so I'm going to keep my right signal on. I'm just going to check what traffic is around me so that when I set off, I know what I'm doing. I'm checking the sat nav again. It's not this one, it's actually the next one, so I could have done that much better for sure. I'm taking this next exit. I'm in the second lane, but I can see there's 2 lanes on the exit, so that will work for me.
Take the exit, then keep right.
I feel like sometimes driving instructors press the issue of only staying in the left lane at all times too much. Controversial, but yes, you should drive in the left lane, but if you find yourself in the right lane like I just did, it's not a bit like, look, the road just merged. It merged. Oh, merge is such a good word. The road merged like 20, 30 meters ahead. So I didn't need to even worry about moving to the left lane. It just did it for me. So I'm not that worried about accidentally ending up on the right lane. I just make sure that I can get onto the left lane. So good points about Chingford. It's really chill. It's mostly 30. It's got sensible speed limits. I was ready for that guy too, but it's not crossing, so I'm not gonna allow him to cross. I'm just gonna be ready in case he crosses ahead. Good other points, you drive through Epping Forest. Lovely, beautiful. Bad points, slip roads. 50-mile-an-hour dual carriageways and difficult AF roundabouts. But I'm not gonna say that Chingford's bad because of that, because if you just practice that stuff, then you'll get it right. Right? Ah, interesting. I can see from here that we're going into a 20-mile-an-hour zone. So here's what I always say to people, right? And how I spotted that 20, that one up there. 20 signs so fast. 2 secs. Let me just deal with this. 2 secs. I'm now looking all the way down the road, and I'm going to see every hazard on the road. Then I'm going to peel my vision back along the pavements, and then I'm going to see signs and pedestrians. If you can get into the habit of checking that and doing that the whole time you're driving, you are on to a winner. All the time I'm driving, I'm pushing my vision down to the end of the road, down to as far as I can see, and then peeling back along the pavements, which is why I saw that sign so quickly. Signs are one of the most common things to miss. Unless your test centre's exclusively 30 miles an hour, you're going to need to spot speed sign changes for sure. And look at this road. We would normally drive down this road or assume that it's 30 if we've been driving at 30 on similar roads to this previously, but you need to be aware that this is 20 by seeing the sign. This is another chill road. This is a dual carriageway. Here's another one that a lot of people misunderstand this. What's a dual carriageway? A dual carriageway is this. But what a dual carriageway sounds like and what you assume it is a road where there's 2 lanes going your way. It's not. This is a dual carriageway, and it's a dual carriageway because us going this way and the oncoming traffic coming this way are separated by something physical. It doesn't have to be a barrier. This grass makes it a dual carriageway. So all motorways are dual carriageways, but not all dual carriageways are motorways. So now this has just turned into a single carriageway. Why? Because us and the oncoming traffic are not separated by anything physical. White paint doesn't count. Oh, there's a river here. I can't see it, but I can see it on the map. There's a huge river here. What does it say? William Goering Reservoir. Not a river, it's a reservoir. Cool. We're coming to the end of the driving test route, and we're coming back to the driving test centre. Let me give Chingford the scores. It got 5 for facilities. The test centre's nice, it's at least got toilets. The area is getting do you know what, I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna give the area a 6 because actually, you're gonna have to do some roundabouts. There's no such thing as a driving test that doesn't do roundabouts. It's part of the requirements. So you're gonna have to do some roundabouts, but not all driving tests are gonna have to go on that dual carriageway, I'm pretty sure. Ease of passing, I would say if you're taking a driving test in Chingford and you've practiced in Chingford, I'd give it a 7 for ease of passing. There's stuff here that can trip you out. It is quite busy, but it's not too busy. It's easy to pass it, but you can easily fail here. Overall, I'm gonna give Chingford Driving Test Centre, I really should have thought of this in advance before I came out with it because that would have been more slick on the ending of the video, a 6, based on the facilities, the area, and the ease of passing. I quite like Chingford. I would do a driving test here. If you're taking a driving test here, let me know what it's like. If you've been learning in Chingford, let me know what it's like if you're learning in Chingford. Then I've also got a whole bunch of how to pass your driving test tips and motivational videos. You can find them here, you can click them here and enjoy them. They will 100% make you A, more confident, and B, more likely to pass your driving test with the knowledge that I've got for you.
Turn right, then turn left.
And I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Chingford also needs to repave its roads. Bye.